Hi everyone, this is Balazs Heller, and this is our next podcast. My guest is Mr. Arya Shush. Thank you so much, Shush, for coming.
No, no, my pleasure. Thank you for having me.
First of all, I need to tell you that I'm very much honored to be in your team because, as you know, Attila is my best friend, and I was his first person who he enrolled me in World Ventures back in 2010, or at least one of the first. And that's how I got to know you. At that time, we didn't know each other personally, but I was following you as well because you were also a big inspiration for Attila. So this is how the connection started. And then when Attila contacted me that Dream Trips relaunch, and now I was in that live situation where I said, "Wow, this is a great opportunity I cannot miss." Then I got to know that you guys are doing this together in partnership. So I said, "Wow, this is amazing team to be part of." So thank you so much for accepting my invitation. And let me start right away with my first question. How did you get into your the very first network marketing business?
Yes, it was in fact 22 years ago, back in 2003, 23 years. Okay, actually this year. And what happened is at that time I was actually not in a good situation. So I was a young father. My son was 3, my stepson was 11. I was working 90 hours per week, so I was actually doing a full-time job in retail, electrical retail for 4 days, 10 hours a day. Then you got traveling on top, so you got to add another 90 minutes a day for travel. And then for the other 3 days, I was fixing computers. So I had actually a business called the Computer Man. It was me. I was the computer man. So I used to, fix computers, set them up, do training, that kind of thing. So I was flat out 7 days a week. I was 500,000 in debt, very bad situation. I was leaving the house at 7 o'clock in the morning, coming home at 10 o'clock at night. So I never saw the kids. Super stressed, couldn't, meet my bills or my debt payments. And then I knew that needed to do something different. So I went out looking for a way to make more money. Okay. So I was searching the internet for ways to make more money. And then I came across network marketing again. Okay. So 10 years before, I'd actually come across network marketing, uh, actually got invited to a meeting. That company that I first saw was called Amway. So that's one of the pioneering companies in the industry. But as much as I loved the idea of residual income and it opened up, my eyes to that, um, the idea of selling washing powder and toothpaste and these type of products didn't excite me. So I never got involved. So the concept excited me, but the products didn't. And then, fast forward 10 years to 2003, when I started looking, I actually found a network marketing business. The product was actually high-speed internet, broadband. Okay,
Hmm.
so that was when, well, virtually everyone was using dial-up internet at the time.
Yes.
Being in IT and computers, I'm like, it's a no-brainer, that you've got a product which is a lot faster than dial up. You can use the internet and a phone at the same time. And I'm like, everybody's going to want this. I sort of was right. Okay. But I got involved, and I had no idea what I was doing. I was a newbie. And for 6 months, I struggled, made all the mistakes. And then what happened is I got, I got to hear about a meeting, an event in April 2004. It was at Heathrow in London. And I decided, you know what, I'm going to go. And I was so broke. I had to borrow the money off my mum, okay, just to get a ticket for the event and put gas in the tank and get lunch, okay. So, but, for me, it was like, oh, this is my last chance. This is the last chance that I've got to try and find out more to try and make it work. It was a training, and the guy that was actually training that day was a guy called Peter Powdram, who later became my mentor. And this was a he was a veteran in the industry, had made tens of millions, and basically I just saw this guy. He was a normal guy, grew up on a social housing council estate. His father couldn't read and write. He was actually he was adopted, and he'd done various jobs from milkman to furniture salesman to various things. He's a normal everyday guy, and then he ended up being in the police, in the Metropolitan Police, and he basically joined network marketing when he was 23 and eventually, became a multi-millionaire through the industry. And he was speaking that day and he was making like, I remember he actually showed me his commission slip payment thing, which was around, oh, I'd say 70,000 euro in a month, right? So, and that was pure residual income. He was making around 70,000 a month every single month, okay, while he was sleeping, and like just for the work he did within a few years. And I'm like, oh my God, this world, I never knew it existed, and it made me think, okay, you know what? Even if I did like, if I could create an income within 5 years of around 5,000 a month, the residual income, that would change my life, transform my life. So basically, I decided that day at that event, and I went up to Peter and I asked him, what do I need to do? He just said, go show 500 people what we have in the next 6 months with energy, enthusiasm, excitement, and don't care what other people think because there's going to be a lot of naysayers. There's going to be a lot of negative people. A lot of people just don't get it, with the working mentality rather than entrepreneur mentality. And he said, if you do that, you would change your life. And I believed him. Okay. I actually believed him. And that's what I did. I went away and actually, at that time, because I had so little time, I made a decision because life is all about decisions. I made a decision to to sleep Monday to Friday for only 4 hours a day, like 4 hours a night. So I cut my sleeping by 4 hours so I could find 4 hours a day for 5 days extra to do the business. Okay. And back in the day compared to today, it was a lot more difficult because
Mm.
now we have the internet, social media, we have the Zoom, we have WhatsApp, Messenger, we got all these tools now which make our life to do the business a lot easier. And I just I was like, I made a decision to sleep for 20 hours less a week so I could find the time to do the business. I made a decision to show 3 people a day, okay, consistently over 6 months, so I would reach my target of 500 people. And basically, what happened was this, I signed up 30 people in 6 months, right? And I showed 500 people. Yeah, and the way I showed them is I showed them a video and then I spoke to them afterwards, right? It was simple. It's no different to what I've done, for 22 years. And you know, if you do the maths, right, okay, if you work it out, 470 people said no, okay, to me. 30 people said yes. 470 people said no. Now, here's the thing, what happens in our industry is that, people get a few no's and they quit, okay, right?
Mm.
They don't do the 500, right? Okay, because more people will say no than yes, okay? For all the reasons I said, people are in employment mentality. Oh, and there's nothing wrong with that. I mean, I'm not criticizing it, but
It's
we're
a
looking
fact.
for yeah, we're looking for people who are like us, people who are looking to change, looking for something more to look at. And what happened was within that 6 months, from the 30 people that I signed up, I found 6 leaders, 6 people who are like me. They really were wanting to change their lives and do something. And between us, we put in hundreds of thousands of customers in that business, which actually ended up me making more than £1 million in residual income over the next 8 years, 7, 8 years. It was incredible. I was able to like completely transform my life. I hit my goal within 4 years. Okay, the 5,000 a month. And in fact, within 5 years, it was about 15,000 a month. Okay, I became the number two income earner in that company after Peter. I bypassed thousands of people who were already in the business. So that's how it all started for me.
That's amazing story. And can you share me what was your strength compared to others? What was what made you become who you are today? Because
Well, I
network
think,
marketing is a profession. So what were the skills you needed to learn? And what you can say it's confidently it's impossible without it.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Actually, a lot of people ask me that question, like because a lot of people used to ask me that how come you were able to make a success when so many other people's
Yes.
failed? Okay. And I thought about it a long time, and for a long time, I didn't really sort of know the answer to the question. And then over a period of time, I sort of realized that it was a few things, right? Okay. So the first thing is you have to have a absolute burning desire to make it work, right? You got to want it really bad. Okay.
Mm.
So this is one of the things that, when you read the book, Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill, right? Who is, one of my success heroes. And in that book, it talks about burning desire. It's a great chapter where there's a little girl who wants 50 cents, and like she goes to the master. He's like on a plantation, and the guy shouts her down, saying no, 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 and she is relentless. Because she's got a burning desire. She wants to buy something for herself, right? That's what kids do. Kids have a burning desire. When they want something, they will not. I mean, they're relentless. You know that, right? Okay. So you got to be relentless. The thing is, you got to be relentless. You've got to be almost obsessive in your business. Okay. This is very, very important. Um, and that's, sometimes you hear the word obsessive, and you think it's negative. It's not. Okay. It's just that you are like you just
On
absolutely,
fire.
yeah, okay, and that's super important. The second thing is you got to be coachable. Okay, you got to be, it's as you said. I mean, it's skills, right? I mean, our business is about three types of skills, right? So you got, well, okay, there's three main things. Number one is you have to have the right mindset, right? Okay, so the mindset you have to work on every day, right? So with personal development, uh, feeding your mind with positiveness, positive thinking, videos, audios, books, okay, which are feeding your mind, personal development. That's super important. So once you got the mindset, okay, and then you believe, it's all about building your beliefs. So our business, the mindset comes down to the beliefs in number one, the company, number one, number two, the product, number three, the industry of network marketing. Yeah. See, if you got negative thoughts about network marketing, i.e., oh, someone told you it's a pyramid scheme or a scam or something like this, right? Which is obviously misinformation, right? Then what happens is that it's actually a limiting belief in your mind. Okay. So the thing is, you got to 100% believe in our industry. And then number four, the most important thing is you have to have belief in yourself. Okay. You got to build that belief in yourself. And then, okay, that's what develops the mindset. The second thing is the skill set. So the skill set, again, it's just learning the correct process for building the business, right? Okay. Which is obviously in the right way, saying less to more people, right? Okay. Using the tools, using your support system, your upline to, do three-way calls and get them to answer the questions and help you build the business. Super important. Okay. And then the third thing is the action set, right? Action set is basically taking consistent, persistent action. I mean, I know, for example, Balazs, you're a very busy guy, right? Okay. So you got to like look at your whole working, week, your life week, your family week, and you got to carve out a little bit of time every single
Yes.
week, whether it's
Prioritize.
day. Yeah, exactly. And the thing is, a lot of people say, "Oh, I'm too busy." Well, actually, what I always find is that the people who move the business succeed are busy people. Busy. If you want to get things done, ask a busy person, right? Okay. So really, they're the really key things. So, I mean, you just gotta, just build that belief 100%. Keep on building the belief and not worry when things don't go great because you're going to hit obstacles. Things sometimes won't go right for you. Okay. And the thing is, you gotta, and this is one of the reasons why, again, you gotta know why you're doing it. Okay. What you want to get out of it. You gotta know the future. See, you gotta visualize how your future is gonna look if you make it work. Right. Okay. Look, when I got started in this industry, I was looking to make 500 a month just to meet my bills and debt payments, right?
Hmm.
Never in my life would I have imagined that eventually I will be traveling every single month, right? Visiting 50 new countries, okay, having a life of freedom that like I could never even imagine that in the beginning, right? Okay, that was not even on the radar. But eventually when you get the success, okay, and you build that residual income, I mean, that's the sexiest thing. When you start making residual income and that money's coming in every single month, whether you work or not, my God, I mean, that is just incredible. Yeah.
Next question is about right now. Let's move to the here and now. You have built a six-figure income with World Ventures, which was the company before Dream Trips. And now, as it's relaunched in January, you have hit with Attila 50K Traveler, which is an amazing result in such a short period of time. What keeps you going? What is that hunger which is still is a driving force within yourself right now?
Yeah. Well, and, again, it's a very good question, and that hunger had definitely gone. In May 2024, I suffered a stroke, okay, and I was paralyzed all the way on my left side. So um, the 18 months that followed, 5 weeks in hospital, was very dark. Okay. Very up and down life experience. I almost died, in fact. So, and I wasn't doing anything, right? And, I suffered like, in every aspect in my life, financially. My income went away, health wise, mentally as well. I was super stressed out. And then in August last year, the opportunity of Dream Trips came back. Okay. And when I found out, so actually the owner of the company, Mark Smith, called me up and told me that they were relaunching. And I, you know what, it sparked a little excitement in me. And then when I found out that my friend Jefferson Santos and Micaiah York were going to be co-founders of the company as well. Jefferson, I built, the previous Dream Trips company all around the world. We put more than 1 million members, in our team. It was incredible. And so I got excited, okay, and really it gave me a renewed purpose in life because I wasn't doing anything for more than a year, literally nothing. Okay. I was just focused on my recovery. And then obviously when the opportunity came back, then, the idea to work with Attila as well, who I've known for 15 years, it just made sense. And, he works as hard as me, like, so that was great. So that's the reason why we got started. And then it's just a case of doing everything we teach, okay, which is contacting a lot of people and showing them what we have, right? Having conversations. I mean, listen, in the first month, obviously we have experience. A lot of people knew us as the Dream Trips guys. So, it's not going to be the same for everyone. But, we launched a massive social media campaign on Facebook, Instagram, and essentially, we within the first 6 weeks, we personally introduced more than 50 people. Okay, that eventually, led to more than 1,000 people on our team, right? Okay, and that's the reason why we were able to achieve that. But again, it's not the same for everyone. But one thing I can say is that we had a lot of people have success in our team as well. A lot of people created, that success and rank. So it was incredible, and that's a testament to Dream Trips because I know that there's other travel network marketing companies, but the bottom line is that we are the original company. We are the number one travel network marketing company in the world, the world's leading travel club. Yeah,
Mm,
and nobody has that what we have, and I think
mm.
that's the reason why it's exciting with what's happening as well. Obviously we've got the company bought the number one travel AI company, and they are launching a travel AI app 14th of August. So a lot of exciting things happening. Yeah.
Can you share me about the four phases of a network marketing company? And also, as you have been through these four phases with World Ventures, it would be really nice that you can also explain how with Dreamtrees, why it's such a huge potential, what we are in right now in this
Yeah,
time of this year.
100%. Yeah. I mean, I think this is the thing that excites me the most because as you said, I experienced it when I first got involved with the first Dream Trees company, World Ventures. It was 2010, and there was about 50,000 people in that company, and it was predominantly in the US, right?
Yes.
And, and then what happened was, we got started. Obviously we were going to build like all over the world. And bear in mind there was no dream trips outside of the USA and Caribbean at that point. Yeah. And what we saw was we started to expand the business all around the world, so Europe, Asia, everywhere, right? And what happened is we saw the business grow from 50,000 and 50 million, when we first started, that was their annual turnover, to in 2014. Okay. So that was when they were in formulation stage, right? And then what happens in the next couple of years is something called the concentration phase, right? So the concentration phase is where, like, they have now created the product and they've created the systems, and then eventually now you start attracting the right people. And then around 2014, we hit momentum. Okay.
Hmm.
We saw the business grow to 984 million in a year, right? It was quite spectacular. I mean, we saw those weeks when we had more than 20,000 people join our team, right? So that was just our team, right? It was like the most insane thing that you've ever seen, right? And then obviously, eventually, the momentum goes into stability where you're a stable company.
Plateaued.
Plateaus, yeah. Well, I mean, it's stable, okay.
Hmm.
So they're the four phases: is formulation, um, concentration, momentum, and stability. Now, where we're at now, this is where the exciting thing is that at this moment in time, this company just relaunched. Dreamship's only relaunched in January, right? Okay. And there's probably only a few thousand people all over the world, right? That's how new we are. Okay, so we're in the formulation stage, right? So the company now behind the scenes is creating the travel AI app, okay, which is coming where everything travel will be on this app. You'll be able to basically, there'll be like a AI concierge where you can just say, right, I'm gonna go to Budapest for 3 nights. Okay, I have a budget of, say 500 euro, okay, or whatever. Okay, that might be like a little bit slim, but let's say you got a budget of like €700, but that's to include the accommodation, like tours, excursions. This is what I would like to do, blah, blah, blah. And it will create everything for you, or create the itinerary for you, right? So that's coming, right? Okay. You'll be able to book everything through the app, regards to travel. You'll be able to do your searches for hotels. And already we've experienced, even from January, like for example, in January we went to Miami, with 47 Hungarians. We booked 20 rooms in a hotel and we saved an average per room of more than $1,000 compared to booking.com, right? Okay, we have so many different examples of people who have booked from our team and saved more than 50% of their hotels compared to, our other online companies. So the thing is, we know that it's absolutely real and it works because I've experienced it myself. I was in Miami, so actually we saved $1,300 on our room, right? I was with the tiller actually, we were sharing.
Yes.
So just gives you an idea, like how incredible a product. And then you got the Dream Trips as well, which is
Mm.
obviously a flagship product. No other travel company has what we have. So this is where, it's super exciting what's going to happen. I mean, I can definitely envisage in the next couple of years, literally hundreds of thousands of people will join us. Yet today, there's only a few thousand people. That's where the opportunity lies.
Do you see Dream Trips gonna go even further than World Ventures went? What do you feel about that?
There's every possibility, 100%. Yeah. I mean, the thing is, okay, today there's more competition. So, at the time when we launched, with World Ventures, the original Dreamshoes company, we were the only real company, like a significant company in the space. Today, there's a lot more companies, a lot more copycats. Okay.
Mm.
So, however, I mean, you never know. I mean, I can't say I've got a crystal ball, but I'm very confident. I wouldn't be here if I didn't believe that this
Mm.
was the right company at the right time, at the right place with the right people. Yeah. So,
What
yeah.
is your goal? What is your vision about what you want to achieve within Dream Trips?
Well, for me and Attila, our goal is to create monumental success throughout our team, to create multiple, like 100 six-figure earners, multiple seven-figure earners, which obviously eventually will lead us to, going all the way up and grabbing that villa, which is up for grabs. Yeah.
Then you
Uh,
need to split it, huh?
Oh, we'll be inviting our top team leaders to the villa for sure. So that's going to happen. That's inevitable because the thing is, it's about sharing the success and wealth with the people who actually do the work as well.
Mm.
Uh, so that's what I see for the future, and it's just helping so many people like change their lives, travel better, and obviously make money to be free because it's all about freedom. Okay, I mean I've been blessed that for many 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 years I was able to have that freedom to travel, live my dreams, and it was just amazing, and I helped so many people do that, and now obviously having the opportunity to recreate that and do it again, and it's right at the beginning. That's super exciting. Yeah.
And how do you feel about it's a bit different now that you are in Serbia, before you were in Hungary? Because, when you were building World Ventures, probably you were more like in the UK, and now you also have a partner who is Hungarian, and your family almost like everything is around Hungary now. How do you feel about it?
Oh no, no, it's absolutely. I'm loving it. I mean, that's not an issue for me. I mean, I was always traveling. I traveled for years building the business in many different countries. I can imagine that that's the same thing's going to happen again anyway. But yeah, life is good, and I'm very, very blessed that I've got great people around me. Okay, now that I can build a business with, spend time. I mean, like having a life partner as well who is involved in the business. My lady Esther, who is amazing, and she is 100%. She bleeds dream trips as well, right? And when you've got someone who is like with you, supporting you, working with you like every day, that is amazing. Yeah, for sure. It's a blessing. And
Beautiful.
I met her on a dream trip. That's a
Yes,
great.
and you are not the only one, I believe. I heard stories that Dream Trip is a great place to find your wives or husbands.
Yeah. Well,
Because
yeah. I
like-minded
mean,
people, same vision, same goals, and people who
yeah.
choose Dream Trips are usually want change their
Positive.
lives, no?
Yeah,
They
yeah. Positive,
positive
like-minded people.
mindseted people.
100%.
Next question is about what are your favorite three dream trips throughout your career? Can you share at least three of them
Oh wow, this is
if you
not
need to
not
pick?
that's a not an easy question, but I think one was Bali. Okay, so I did a trip in Bali with like actually it was a couple hundred people from our Asian team. We had an absolute blast. Okay, then there was another one was in Saint-Tropez where I got to drive classic supercars. Okay, Ferraris and Porsches, Lamborghinis, all that kind of stuff. And I did that with my son. That was like an awesome trip. And also then I would say probably Halkidiki, where which was last year. It was a great trip, and that's where I met Esther. Okay.
Ah,
So
okay.
we're going back in September, we're going back actually and doing the same trip. So
Yes,
that's
I've
gonna be
seen it. And
amazing.
what's in your bucket list which you still want to visit and you never been there, but it's on your bucket list?
Well, Bora Bora is definitely on my bucket list, one of the places. I've got another bucket list is actually to take my parents to Canada and do the Rocky Mountaineer train across the Rocky Mountains. So this is actually a dream of my dad's, and I want to help him fulfill that dream for sure.
Wow.
Um, Hawaii. Okay. Yeah. I'll probably have a list somewhere of places that I'd love to go to. But yeah, there's just some that spring to mind. Yeah.
Okay, and probably one of the last questions because of the time is those people who are watching us and just been in the business, just started, uh, what your advice is to them? What do you suggest them to focus on to become successful?
Yeah. Well, when it comes to like the business and success in the business, I think the important thing is that first of all, you got to know why you're doing it. You got to know what you want to get out of it. Okay. And you got to write it down, visualize it. Okay. You got to imagine, just imagine that you do this, build this within 3 to 5 years, you're making 5,000 a month residual passive income. How would that impact your life? Okay. And write it down. Write how your life would look. How would it change from today, right? And I help thousands of people do that. Okay. So I'm not talking like from a place where it's pie in the sky. I'm talking about, what I witnessed myself, right? So that's the first thing, knowing why and what you want. Okay. The second thing is you got to continually be working on yourself, building your belief, being around the right people as well. There's a lot of negative people in the world. If you associate with negative people, they're going to drag you down. They're going to steal your dreams. So you know what? Be with the right mindset people. Definitely take a trip. Okay. It's very important. And then when you're building the business, use the three E's, right? Enthusiasm, excitement, and um, hang on. Enthusiasm, energy, and excitement, right? So work the business with high energy, okay, with enthusiasm and with excitement, because this is what people will gravitate towards, right? Okay. Um, I've seen people sometimes, and I think there's nobody that's gonna join you because of the way you are communicating, right? Okay. Now, if you're brand new, and you've never done anything like this before, all your job is to do is to get yourself in front of leaders like myself or Balash or Attila or whoever, right? What you're doing is you're borrowing our energy, right? Okay.
Yes,
You're
exactly.
borrowing our experiences. You're borrowing our excitement. Okay. So this is a real important thing. Yeah. And then
Thank you
it's just
so.
consistent action. just keep going, keep going, keep going. Yeah, keep sharing what we have.
Thank you so much, Shush. It's such a amazing, inspirational, just to have this talk with you. And I was motivated a lot. And I wish you great success.
Thank you.
And I
Thank you.
hope that I can bring together with you great success to the world. And
Oh, I have no doubt, no doubt. Yeah,
let's
100%.
make the whole world travel with us.
Yeah, for sure. Okay.
So see you guys, and thank you everyone who are watching out there. Ciao.
Thanks. See ya.